Welcome back to the channel. We're here today and we're going to prepare some cube steak. As you can see, we've already cut up our vegetables, and we're going to cut our cube steaks in half. These are about the size that you need. Thank you for returning subscribers. Newcomers, go ahead and push that red subscribe button and join the family. And we're going to get right into getting this prepared. As you can see, we're cutting all the pieces to similar sizes. Go ahead and cut these cube steaks. Okay. And we're just going to get all these cut up. And once we've cut these up, we're going to go ahead and pan fry these a little bit. Okay, so we'll get these cut up and get our pan together to start frying these. Once you've cut up all of the cube steaks, you're going to take your seasonings, and we're using Italian seasoning, paprika, and garlic pepper. And we're just going to season all these real good on both sides. Yeah, so you're just going to take that out, and you're going to make sure you put a nice coating of all of these on each side. You want to see the coating. If you have to go over them 2 or 3 times, then do so. But these seasonings don't have any salt, so be generous with them because you want that flavor. Once you're finished with these, you'll be ready to take them over to the stove. Once you've got a gracious amount of the seasoning over top, you can pat that in. Yeah, you can pat that in. Try to get that seasoning to stick. Yeah, you're just going to pat that in. Then after you've patted that in, then you're going to flip these over and you're going to season the other side. Okay? All right, we've seasoned the other side, patted it in. We're going to stack these up and get to frying them. All your meat's cut up in equal sized pieces. We're ready to get to frying it. Okay, we've poured 2 tablespoons of our avocado oil in the pan, and we're just waiting on it to get warm so we can start putting our cube steaks into the oil. Okay, now that our oil is getting hot, we can start adding those steaks to the pan. Now, normally I would dip these in flour, but I'm going to go ahead and try to go ahead and put a burn on these without the flour. Okay, and you can kind of move those around and fit a couple of more in there. Yeah. We're just going to let that brown on one side, and then we'll flip it on the other side. We're not doing any major cooking. We're just browning these really well because the major cooking is going to come in when we get all of our ingredients and stick them in the crock pot. Okay? Okay, this is getting going. We're going to go ahead and turn these because, like I said, we're not fully cooking these. We're just putting a nice brown on these. Okay? Alrighty. Okay, these are browned nicely. We're going to go ahead and take those out and put those on the plate. Because like I said, we're not trying to cook them. We're just trying to put a nice brown and a burn on it, on the meat. Okay? So we're just going to sit those over there and put in the next batch.
Ooh, that was nice.
Okay. Come on, let's get the next batch going. Come on.
Watch it, y'all. These things will pop you.
Okay, and get another one in there. All right. And we're just going to continue to brown these until all of them have been browned, and then we'll show you the next step. Okay, we got another batch that's done. We're going to put that over and put in a new batch. You just take those out, put them over. There's no reason to rinse the grease off or anything. Remember, we're using avocado oil, so this is a good oil for you. But plus, we need all that to enhance our gravy. Okay, at this point, we're going to add our vegetables to the pan. We're going to add our vegetables to the pan. Go ahead and put those over in there. Because we want those vegetables that we're adding to be sauteed also. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and saute our vegetables. Just keep stirring them around. It's okay to keep it on high as long as you're watching it and you're stirring it, okay? We're going to put a little burn on these vegetables before we fry up the rest of them and brown them so that we can start getting our stuff going into the crock pot. Okay, normally we would bake these, but we're going to do them in the crock pot so we can kind of set it and forget it. Because we're trying to make easy meals for people who might not be as experienced, or when something in your life like a surgery or something happens and you're unable to cook, we want to make it as simple as possible for you. So we're just going to wait till these onions turn colors and add this to our waiting ingredients to go into the pot. And then we're going to finish frying the rest of the cube steaks that we have left. Once those onions have changed colors, then you know they're ready. And what we're just going to do with this is we're going to go ahead and put this over into the crock pot while we go ahead and brown the rest of our cube steaks, okay? Okay, we've turned our crock pot on high. We're going to go ahead and pour in those onions, those vegetables, seasoning vegetables that we're using. And we're going to get back to frying up the rest of those cube steaks. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more of our oil to the pan so we can finish frying up the rest of those cube steaks. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. And let's go ahead and get them put on in. And get the rest of these browned so we can start putting together our meal. We need another one to go in there with it.
Yep, this can work.
Okay, and like I said, we're just going to resume browning these steaks. And when they're finished, we'll be ready to put them in the crock pot. All right, this is our last batch. We're going to go ahead and take it out and stack it up with the rest of them and be ready for the next step. All right, our meat has been browned. We're going to go ahead and take it a piece at a time, and we're putting it in the crock pot, okay? Okay, so we're going to just put all these pieces in the crock pot. Okay, we're going to move the crock pot this way. Yeah, so we can see down in there without a shadow coming on there on the meat. Can you see that? There you go. And we're just putting it in, just layering it in, and putting this meat in this crock pot. Okay. So, once we've added all the pieces, we'll be adding our final ingredient so that this meat can cook down until the rice is ready for this mixture to be poured over. Okay, this is the last piece that's going in. And then we're going to put that in, and we're going to take our juices and just pour that over it. So be careful not to lose any of that great juice. And pour that over it. Alrighty then. And then we're going to cook that for at least 10 or 15 minutes until that starts really getting hot so it can start marinating the juices. Alright. Alright now. We're going to check on our meat. We're going to add about a tablespoon or 2 of Worcestershire sauce just to ensure that that meat is nice and tender. Okay? So you want to get that all over. That will, penetrate throughout. At least 2 tablespoons or so of it, okay? And then after that, we're going to start adding our favorite rice. Okay? And we've got our favorite rice here, which is the wild rice. It's brown rice, red rice, and barley rice. We get that from our local Trader Joe's, but I'm sure you can get a wild rice mix from just about anywhere. Now this rice is 3-minute rice, so it doesn't take any time to cook. And we're just going to pour this rice on top. And there's 3 packets to come in. We're going to use all 3 packets. And we're just pouring our rice on top. Okay. And then after we pour our rice on top, we're going to use this cream of mushroom soup. But we're going to use the whole can, but we're also going to add at least a cup of water to this and mix it up, and then we'll pour it into the crock. All right, we've put the cream of mushroom soup in a cup, and we put some water in that can to rinse out what was left. Go ahead and make sure you get all that out the bowl. We're going to put this in this cup here. And we're going to stir it around. Now take your time because you don't want that to go outside of the bowl. You're going to take your time and mix that up really good because you want to water that down just a little bit. Okay? Now after you've gotten that mixed up, we're going to pour that over into the crock. Be mindful, you should have added 2 cups of water to this mixture already. Or at least 1.5 cups, okay? And now we've gotten this mixed up, and we're going to go ahead and pour this all over the rice and the meat. And then we're just going to put that top on this crock pot, and we're going to set it and forget it, okay? Okay. Now make sure you scrape all that goodness out of there, because that's going to be your gravy, okay? So now we're just going to go ahead and put that top on this, and we'll probably come back in an hour or so and give a check and a stir to it. Okay, we're going to check on this and see how this meat and everything's coming together. Yeah. Yeah. Pull the meat up and put it on top. Yes. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at there, Mommy. Look at my Okay, there we go. Now that looks really good. We're going to let this cook just a little bit more now that we have mixed this all up real nicely. Going to give this another 20 minutes or so, and we're going to serve it up. Okay, this is done. And we're just going to take a plate and a spoon and get us some out of here. That's just lovely. Put that on your plate. Oh, look at that. That's just beautiful. And spoon some of that rice and gravy out and put over the top of this. Oh yeah, that's just beautiful. Try this out. See how you like it. Let me know down in the comments how delicious this was. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.